If you own a trade or specialty contractor business and are on the journey to growing your business from $1 million to $5 million, then the playbook that I'm going to share with you in this video is going to help you get there a lot faster. I'm going to be breaking down the 5-step playbook that our clients are using to be able to do just that. And I do want to mention that the 4th step that I'm going to share with you recently helped a client 3x their revenue inside of 18 months. But it's important to note that you've got to dial in part 1 and 2 for that to really work. So you want to watch the video all the way through to the end and then take action. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump into it. First step is to gain absolute clarity. And there's a couple of areas that we like to look at when we're working with our clients. The first is to really examine the big goal that you have in mind. And if that's getting to 5 million, you want to ask yourself why. Why does it matter to you? What's that going to enable you to be able to do? Does this align with the lifestyle that you want? Does it align with the freedoms that you want to have in terms of the time, energy, the relationships you're able to enjoy, the impact and purpose that you have in your life? And if it doesn't, then you really want to question that. If getting to 5 means that you're going to have to sacrifice what's truly important to you, then what is the number that is your true target? Is that 3.5? Is that more than enough in terms of growth that you're able to not sacrifice, again, what truly matters? So we look at that, we get clarity around that, and then after that, we want to look at the big vision. So what's the vision for the business? Why does the business exist? What's the impact it's going to have? How is it serving its customers? And why does this ultimately matter? You want to build a vision that is compelling enough that your team can really buy into it. And ultimately, you want to take the time to spend with your team members to find out what they're passionate about, what they're striving for in their lives. And you ultimately want to create some form of alignment that essentially, as they're helping you to grow the business, as they're helping you to push forward and pursue big goal and big vision for the company, that there's alignment in that it helps to support their dreams. So that's the way that we like to approach that. Now, the next thing you're going to want to get absolute clarity on is your core values. Right? And once you've gotten them, you need to go beyond just jotting them down on a piece of paper, throwing that in a drawer, never coming back to it. It's something that every member of the team needs to embody. So we've got to look at how do we walk the walk through every aspect and touch point of our business? How do we embody these values, walk the walk, and show up to represent them? And that really helps to ensure you're able to deliver the level of excellence that you want, that the DNA of your brand and company is built on these values. And it really also helps to attract and retain top talent. So often the struggles to find the right people to help you fuel the business and drive it forward is being held back by having team members that don't share the same mindset, values, and ultimately that then creates the culture that isn't one that's going to set you up for success and help you achieve your goals. The last one that you really want to gain clarity around and that we don't want to overlook is your business model. Now, you're a trade pro, specialty contractor, business owner. You've got a flooring company, a tile company. Maybe you have a countertop, heating, plumbing, HVAC company, right? So it's like, okay, we install floors. Simple, that's our business model. You do want to go deeper than that. You want to gain clarity on your business model. Who is your ideal customer? How do you serve them better than anybody else? How can you differentiate your business from the competition? And ultimately, where are you going to plant your flag so that you're not just chasing any type of work out there, anybody with a credit card and a pulse, that's our customer, because that's really going to hold back your ability to fuel your advertising, your marketing, your sales ultimately when you're just going after everybody. It also makes it really hard to optimize your operations to scale if, again, you're trying to serve everybody. So you really want to figure out what your business model is, if that's, installing a certain product line, if that's specializing in a certain type of work, and then figuring out how you can do that, again, better than anybody else. So that's really important. It's going to fuel your marketing, fuel your sales, and your operations when you have those things in place. Your business model and who your ideal customer is, which leads directly into step number 2. It's that you want to have a competitive advantage and put your business into a category of 1. You can get to 5 million without doing that, But again, this playbook is designed to get you from 1 to 5 million a lot faster and more easily. And that's once you have that defined business model and your one ideal customer profile, then crafting your competitive advantage, which is like your positioning and your messaging that you're going to put into the marketplace. So when people see you, they can't compare your business to anybody else. And you sit in a category of one, which then allows you to not be price sensitive like the rest of the market might be, because you can't be compared to the next business down the street that's offering the exact same thing as you. It's apples to oranges versus apples to apples. And that is really going to help you, again, fuel your advertising, your marketing, your sales, your business development. And we have a formula, ultimately, to help our clients unlock this. And if I was to give it to you in just 3 simple questions that you can ask yourself, it's again, who do you serve? And how do you truly serve them better than anybody else? What does nobody else offer or solve for that you do? Once you have this, then ask yourself the last question, why does this matter? Does the marketplace really care about this or not? If they don't, if the thing you're solving for isn't that attractive or that compelling, then this isn't of true value, and you want to keep it this exercise until you hit on the thing that is. And that'll allow you to plant your flag in the market and really own that percentage of the market share. That way you're not just competing with everybody else out there. Step number 3 in our playbook is to build a sales engine. And this should come before you really start to invest in advertising or marketing. And yeah, of course, you're going to want to do basic marketing things like wrap your truck, have leave behinds. If you're in a certain area doing an install or a repair, yeah, go around the neighborhood, leave some door hangers or some flyers in people's mailboxes. Sure, that type of marketing, great. Low-hanging fruit, no problem. But when you really start to put some dollars behind it, when you're really trying to drive the business, year over year, $500,000, $1 million plus in growth, then you're going to need to invest in advertising so you're not relying on word of mouth and referrals, because then you don't have any control, right? Before you do that, you want to build a sales engine. You want to make sure you have a dialed in sales process. You have a proper CRM in place and protocols for a healthy sales pipeline so that you don't have a leaky bucket and you're not leaving money on the table or throwing money out the window on advertising and marketing by not getting a strong enough ROI because you're letting things fall through the cracks. And then last is your sales team, or if that's just you, if you're the only one doing sales in the business, this still applies. You need to have an effective workflow to maximize and capitalize on every lead that you get. All right, so that's going to lead into step number 4, is to build a marketing machine. You have gone through the process of getting clarity around your goals, your vision, your values. You've now placed yourself in a category of one and you've got a competitive advantage. You've dialed in your sales process. You've got a sales engine in place. Now it's time to pour gasoline on the fire. You want to build a marketing machine, and the goal here is to get a reasonable amount of control over your ability to fill your sales pipeline predictably, so you can have predictable and consistent revenue in your business. Otherwise, it's very hard to scale. You're sort of got the chicken and the egg. Well, I can't hire a new installer, a new templater, a new engineer or manager until we get to this point consistently, but I can't do that because I'm on that roller coaster of revenue. It's 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Sometimes there's tumbleweeds in our schedules, light or empty. And so I just don't have the confidence to do that. You have to build a marketing machine to do that. And often what I see is companies are either doing far too little advertising. They've tried it a couple of times, didn't work, and they gave up. And I just sort of imploring you through this screen here to not get in your own way of your own success by saying it didn't work or it doesn't work, or listening to somebody else saying it doesn't work. You're really going to be doing yourself a disservice. You've got to commit, you've got to put in the time, and you've got to figure it out. Okay, it's not a silver bullet. It's not something that's going to be immediate. You turn it on and it's just grand slams right out of the gate. You've got to commit, you've got to invest, and you've got to take the time to figure it out. So the other camp that I see is those that are doing advertising and not growing at the rate that they want to, is that they then spread themselves too thin. For example, you might be doing Google pay-per-click and you're not feeling like you're not getting enough leads from that channel. So you're now going to spin up some Facebook ads and try to start running those as well. What I generally recommend is before you move to a second channel, you really want to spend enough time on the first one to find out what's working, what's not working, and what to do about it. You ideally want to get one channel dialed in where you've committed, you've figured it out, and now you have control. You can pull that lever, putting in more money, spending more money to gain more attention, to capture more leads, and to increase your sales, right? That's ideally what you want. And then once you've scaled that and maxed it out, you then add a second channel and not before that. Generally what I recommend. There are exceptions to that, but that's what I recommend. So here's the playbook for this specifically. You want to have one paid channel where you've created a mechanism where you have control, where you can do two things. A, you can own a percentage of the market through your competitive advantage, and B, you can generate and convert leads at a consistent rate. With that, you then get some predictability and control, and you know how much you're going to get every single month. Then you want to reinvest a percentage of your profits from your ad campaigns back into the machine so that you can continue to claim more and more of the market share that's out there and scale your business up, and then add new channels. Once you do that, the ultimate objective is to be in multiple channels, to have an omni-channel presence where no matter where your potential customers are, they see your brand, they see your ad campaigns, and that's gonna just accelerate your ability to get to 5 million and beyond. And last but not least, number 5 in our 5-step playbook to taking your business from 1 million to 5 million is to optimize operations for scalability. So to successfully scale, you want to make sure you keep a close eye on 3 main things, not to overcomplicate this. You want to standardize your core processes. Not everything little thing needs to be documented. You don't have to have an SOP from A to Z throughout the business. You want to ensure that your core functions are dialed in and that you keep improving those core functions for speed and efficiency. And then you want to be paying attention and identify the key constraints or bottlenecks in your business and solve one at a time. When you do that, you continue to solve and then standardize and move beyond that. That's how you're going to be able to remain agile as you grow, to be able to get consistency in your operations so that quality customer experience does not degrade when you grow quickly. All right, that's always a bit of a challenge. You also want to make sure that you hire and retain top talent, and ideally build a division of labor that creates a productized workflow throughout your business. Treat your business like a product and create a division of labor throughout it, and give ownership to your talent where they have ownership of outcomes, right? Ideally, you're able to build a team of A players that you don't have to micromanage, that ultimately with the standardized processes and the productized workflows, you can trust in your team to have ownership of the outcomes in the business, all right? And that you're going to be able to then ascend to the level of outside of operations into oversight of the business, and really then becoming a coach for your team to help to lead them to take the business to new heights. All right, guys, I hope you found the information I provided in our 5-step playbook to be valuable. If you've made it to this point in the video, I highly suggest you hit subscribe to this channel, because every week I release a new episode with strategies, tips, and tactics that'll help you take your business to the next level more quickly and easily. If you're watching this and it really resonated with you, where you're saying to yourself, I want to have absolute clarity, I want to feel more confident in how I'm going to take my business to the next level, and I'd really like to leverage proven systems and strategies to do that, then go ahead and find a link in the description below to our calendar. We have a few spots open where you can book a growth game plan call with us. And don't worry, this is not going to be a salesy, pitchy, bro markety call. It's essentially us talking about if there's a problem that we think we can help you solve, sharing with you what the plan would look like, the tools you'd have, and the support you'd have. And if after that, you're like, yeah, that makes sense to me, then we can discuss next steps. All right, guys, until then, stay driven for growth.